Alright.
Ain't nobody worried about her.
Okay. That'll make sense.
They all auditioning for my spot. You know that, right?
This didn't start as a rumor. It started as a pull-up, the kind that makes people freeze mid-scroll and say, "Oh, this is about to get ugly," because when Chrisean Rock allegedly showed up where Stunna Girl was, this wasn't coincidence, timing, or curiosity. This was confrontation energy dressed up as coincidence. And the moment it hit the internet, everyone knew Blueface was about to get dragged back into chaos whether he liked it or not. This wasn't a random run-in. This was history colliding in real time. Years of tension, loyalty switches, subliminals, and internet side-eyes suddenly condensed into one explosive moment. And if you think this was just two women crossing paths, you're missing the plot completely. This was a pressure point, because wherever Chrisean and Stunna Girl overlap, Blueface's name doesn't just appear, it detonates. Old wounds reopen. Allegiances get questioned. And the internet does what it does best, pours gasoline on speculation and lights a match. If this pull-up was accidental, it wouldn't have gone viral. If it was intentional, it says way more than anyone is admitting out loud. Either way, this made the Kardashians look like they handle conflict through group chats and therapists. Something was triggered here. Something instead boiled over. And once confrontation energy enters the chat, damage isn't optional. This wasn't just drama. This was a collision, and the fallout was inevitable. The moment people realized Chrisean Rock had allegedly pulled up where Stunna Girl was, the internet didn't ask questions. It jumped straight to conclusions. Because in this universe, a pull-up isn't transportation. It's communication. It's a message that says, "I'm done tweeting. I'm done subtweeting. I'm here." And when that message involves these names, nobody pretends it's casual. Chrisean doesn't move quietly. She moves with momentum. Every appearance feels like a statement. Every location feels intentional. And every moment gets treated like a live episode instead of real life. So when whispers started circulating that she showed up where Stunna Girl was, fans didn't see coincidence. They saw confrontation loading. The background is messy on purpose. Chrisean Rock and Stunna Girl don't exist in separate lanes. Their histories overlap through loyalty shifts, internet commentary, and the gravitational pull of one shared name that never stays out of anything, Blueface. And any time two women tied to him cross paths, the situation instantly stops being personal and starts being political. This wasn't just about who showed up where. It was about what showing up meant. In internet culture, pulling up is escalation. It's the step after words fail and before consequences arrive. And the timing couldn't have been worse, or better, depending on how much chaos you enjoy. Blueface's name resurfaced immediately, even without him saying a word. Fans started replaying timelines, screenshots, old interviews, and past beefs like they were assembling evidence in a conspiracy doc. People asked why now? Why this location? Why this overlap? Because nothing in this circle ever happens without subtext. First reactions split fast. One side claimed Chrisean was standing on business, that she was tired of sneak dissing, tired of indirect shots, and decided to address things in person. They framed it as boldness, as someone choosing action over internet noise. The other side didn't see bravery. They saw instability. They argued this wasn't empowerment, it was provocation. That pulling up doesn't resolve tension, it multiplies it. And when children, legal issues, and public scrutiny are already in the mix, showing up unannounced looks reckless, not strong. The sarcasm online was immediate. Memes labeled the situation like a reality show crossover episode nobody asked for but everyone watched. Jokes compared it to two hurricanes colliding over warm water. Others said this drama had more spin-offs than the Fast and Furious franchise. And the comparisons landed because the energy felt cinematic. What made the pull-up hit harder was the silence afterward. No immediate clarifications. No calming explanations. Just clips, rumors, and reactions spiraling faster than facts could keep up. And silence in moments like this doesn't cool things down. It lets imagination take control. people started dissecting body language from unrelated videos, reading meaning into facial expressions, assigning motives based on vibes alone. Because when drama feels familiar, the audience fills in gaps confidently, even if they're wrong. The leak itself didn't come from a single post. It came from multiple angles at once. A clip here, a comment there, someone saying they saw something, someone else claiming proximity. The story didn't need confirmation because it felt believable. And believability is the internet's favorite currency. Blueface's involvement remained indirect but unavoidable. Every theory circled back to him. Was this about him? Was this because of him? Was this a reaction to something he said, did, or didn't do? And his absence from the conversation only made him more central. Fans pointed out that every time Blueface tries to stay quiet, chaos finds him anyway. Like the drama has his location on permanent alert. And this situation reinforced that narrative perfectly. He didn't pull up, but he was still the headline. The tension grew because people knew this wasn't going to end with a shrug. Pull-ups don't fade quietly. They either explode publicly or detonate privately later. And the fact that this one went viral instantly meant the pressure was already maxed out. Comment sections turned into battlegrounds. Supporters versus critics. She stood on it versus she needs to chill. Nobody agreed, but everyone was invested. And investment is what turns moments into sagas. The wildest part was how fast this overshadowed everything else happening in their lives. Legal drama, custody rumors, career moves, all pushed aside by one reported location change. Because drama doesn't care about timing. It hijacks attention whenever it wants. Chrisean's reputation amplified the reaction. She's known for unpredictable moves, emotional intensity, and public confrontations. So people assumed intent even without confirmation. Fair or not, reputation writes expectations before facts show up. Stunna girl's name added fuel too. She's not known for backing down or staying quiet. The idea of her being involved in a pull-up scenario immediately raised stakes. This wasn't a one-sided situation. This was two strong personalities colliding in the same narrative space. The internet started bracing for fallout before it even happened. People predicted lives, posts, diss tracks, police involvement, or public breakdowns. Because in this ecosystem, drama escalates on schedule. By the end of this phase, it didn't matter what actually happened during the pull-up. The idea of it had already reshaped public perception. The story became bigger than the moment itself. This wasn't just about presence. It was about pressure, and once pressure enters the picture, something always cracks. The pull-up wasn't the climax. It was the warning shot, and everyone knew what comes after warnings. Once the pull-up story hit full circulation, the internet didn't wait for confirmation. It cast roles. Chrisean became the aggressor to some, the realest person in the room to others. Stunna girl became either the target or the unbothered villain, depending on who you asked. And Blueface, as usual, became the invisible main character who somehow controls the plot without ever stepping on screen. Memes exploded like fireworks at a bad decision festival. Screenshots were edited, exaggerated, and recaptioned faster than anyone could say. Allegedly, people joked that this drama had more episodes than a Netflix original and less warning than a jump scare. Some compared it to a reality TV crossover where nobody read the contract, but everybody showed up anyway. The outrage split the internet clean in half. One side praised Chrisean for pulling up instead of hiding behind screens. They said internet beef stays messy because people never see each other face to face, and she closed that distance. To them, this was standing on business, not chasing clout. The other side saw danger written all over it. They argued that pulling up in real life isn't bold, it's reckless, especially when legal pressure, kids, and public scrutiny are already hovering like storm clouds. They said confrontation doesn't make you strong when it puts everything else at risk. Stunna girl's reaction, or lack of visible reaction, became its own storyline. Silence from someone known for loud responses felt intentional. Fans debated whether that meant confidence or calculation. In internet drama, not responding can either kill a story or starve it just enough to make it grow bigger. Blueface's name started trending again without him doing a single thing. People joked that his GPS must be cursed. Wherever he goes, chaos follows. Even when he's not physically present, his shadow shows up early and stays late. Celebrity reactions came indirectly, which made them hit harder. Side-eye emojis, shady captions, influencers going live saying, "I'm not naming names, but," and then naming everything except the name. That kind of reaction doesn't clarify anything, but it validates the drama. Pop culture analogies went off the rails. People compared the situation to two final bosses spawning in the same arena. Others said it felt like a soap opera where everyone knows the fight is coming but still acts surprised when it happens. Someone even joked this was WWE energy without a referee. The memes turned darker as the outrage grew. This is how situations turn into headlines. This is how things escalate past the internet. The humor started carrying warnings instead of punchlines. Because deep down, everyone knows pulling up is the step right before consequences get real. Speculation hit peak absurdity. People started predicting restraining orders, diss tracks, arrests, reconciliations, and viral apology videos. None of it confirmed. All of it believable. That's the scary part. When drama reaches a point where any outcome sounds realistic, the situation is already unstable. The CPS and custody conversations crept back into the chat like uninvited guests. Fans started asking whether this moment would be used against anyone later. Whether pulling up could be reframed as instability. Whether silence could be framed as maturity. The stakes quietly rose from embarrassment to long-term consequences. Chrisean's reputation magnified everything. Supporters argued she's always judged more harshly, that when she shows emotion it's labeled dangerous, but when others do it, it's called assertive. Critics argued reputation exists for a reason and patterns matter more than intent. Neither side backed down. Stunna Girl's name trended in a different way. Less outrage, more curiosity. People watched closely, waiting for a response that never fully arrived. That restraint made her look either unbothered or strategically quiet, and both interpretations benefited her. The internet's tone shifted from entertainment to anticipation. People weren't laughing as much. They were waiting for a response, a live, a post, or a slip-up. Because drama like this doesn't resolve quietly. It either explodes publicly or detonates later when nobody's watching. Blueface's silence became suspicious. Fans questioned whether he was mediating behind the scenes, stirring things indirectly, or simply overwhelmed by another mess attached to his name. His absence from the narrative only reinforced the idea that he remains the central trigger. What made this face so volatile was uncertainty. Nobody knew what actually happened during the pull-up, but everyone felt like something significant had occurred. And in internet culture, feelings outrank facts every single time. The outrage peaked when people realized this wasn't just a moment. It was a signal that boundaries were gone, patience was thin, and the next escalation wouldn't be virtual. This wasn't about who won an argument. It was about who lost control of the narrative. And once narrative control slips, the fallout doesn't ask permission. The pull-up had already done its job. It dragged everyone into the same spotlight, and under that light, even silence starts sweating. When the noise finally dropped a few decibels, the real damage didn't disappear. It crystallized. Because moments like this don't blow up lives instantly, they relabel them. And once labels stick, they follow you into every future headline whether you like it or not. For Chrisean Rock, the pull-up didn't just add another chapter to her already loud public image. It hardened it. The narrative around her shifted from unpredictable to confrontational in a way that felt irreversible. People stopped debating whether she could change and started assuming she wouldn't. That's the most dangerous turn public opinion can take. Not anger, resignation. Every future move she makes will now be interpreted through this lens. If she stays quiet, people will say she's avoiding accountability. If she speaks up, they'll call it escalation. If she distances herself, they'll claim it's temporary. The pull-up didn't just create drama. It boxed her into a story she didn't fully write. Stunna Girl walked away with a different kind of fallout. Silence worked in her favor. Whether intentional or not, restraint reframed her as unbothered, insulated, and oddly in control. The absence of reaction became the reaction. And in internet drama, the person who doesn't flinch often wins by default. That composure repositioned her. Not as a victim, not as an aggressor, but as someone who didn't need to explain herself. And that's power. Especially when the internet is desperate for spectacle. Blueface, as expected, absorbed the strangest consequences. He didn't pull up. He didn't speak. He didn't post. Yet his name took the heaviest symbolic hit. Once again, chaos orbited him without his consent. And once again, the public assumed he was either the cause or the catalyst. The pattern became unavoidable. Any situation involving Chrisean or Stunna girl automatically drags Blueface into the narrative, whether he participates or not. That gravitational pull is no longer a coincidence. It's branding. And branding sticks. Industry perception shifted quietly. People who don't comment publicly still watch patterns privately. Managers, collaborators, and platforms notice when drama escalates offline. Pull-ups signal unpredictability. And unpredictability scares money more than controversy ever could. The internet also grew colder. The empathy that once buffered Chrisean's controversies thinned out. Not vanished, but diluted. Fans still defended her, but the tone changed. Less optimism, more caution. That's a warning sign. This moment didn't trigger mass outrage, cancellations, or public apologies. It triggered something worse. Fatigue. When audiences get tired, they don't argue anymore. They disengage. And disengagement is the quiet killer of relevance. What lingered longest was the unease. The sense that lines were crossed without anyone fully acknowledging them. That pulling up isn't just bold. It's irreversible. You can delete tweets. You can clarify posts. You can spin interviews. You can't undo physical escalation once it enters the public imagination. The ripple effects touched everything else. Old beefs resurfaced. Old clips gained new meaning. Future interactions between these names now carry tension even before anything happens. The audience expects conflict now, and expectation shapes outcomes. The most uncomfortable truth is this: the pull-up didn't resolve anything. It exposed how fragile the situation already was. It showed how little separation existed between online drama and real-world consequences. And it proved that some conflicts aren't waiting for closure. They're waiting for ignition. This wasn't a climax. It was a checkpoint. A moment that told everyone involved and everyone watching that the stakes had quietly risen. That patience was gone. That the next escalation wouldn't feel accidental. And that's the part nobody wants to admit out loud. Once physical proximity enters the equation, everything else becomes less controllable. The internet stops being the battlefield. It becomes the witness. This drama didn't end with statements or denials. It ended with a shift in how everyone is perceived. Chrisean as the one who pulls up. Stunna girl as the one who doesn't react. Blueface as the constant center of chaos whether he wants it or not. Those roles will now shape future headlines before events even happen, and that's the real fallout. Not the moment. Not the memes. Not the outrage. But the permanent adjustment of expectations, because when the internet decides who you are, proving them wrong takes more than silence. It takes time, and time is the one thing drama never gives you. This story didn't close. It recalibrated, and the next time these names overlap, nobody will ask if something happens. They'll ask how bad. Now, don't act like this was just internet drama, because the moment someone pulls up, the rules change. This wasn't a comment section argument. This was a real-world collision with receipts, reputations, and consequences attached. So drop a comment and say it straight. Was Chrisean standing on business? Or did this cross the line from bold to reckless? Was Stunna girl playing it smart by staying quiet? Or was that silence just another kind of flex? And where does Blueface fit when chaos keeps circling his name like it's on a schedule? And smash that like button like it just pulled up unannounced and dared you to react. Don't tap it softly. Hit it like it owes you an explanation. Every like tells the algorithm you want more raw breakdowns, more unfiltered drama, and more moments where the internet crosses into real life. If you're not subscribed yet, fix that immediately. This channel doesn't wait for apologies or press statements. We catch the sparks before the fire, track the fallout after the smoke, and call out the patterns everyone pretends not to see. Scandals don't slow down here. They ripple outward, and trust this story isn't over. Because once lines get crossed in person, every future interaction carries tension. The next clip, the next silence, the next overlap is going to feel heavier. And when it does, you'll want the full context, not the watered-down version. So stay locked in. Stay skeptical. And remember this. Online beef is optional. Real-world energy is permanent. This wasn't just drama. This was escalation. Welcome to Fame Ripple, where one move sends shockwaves. And the fallout never stays quiet.